We are celebrating springtime today by planting herb gardens, and we're doing them in the kitchen. And we're also going to plant an herb garden outside for the kitchen. We have lots of chit chat to carry on while we're also preparing a better than takeout chicken lo mein. And you know what? The grands came by and we are going to share our kitchen attire with you. You know what? You're not going to want to miss a moment. So stay right there. Peachtree Farm. This is our herbal garden kit. It has 3 herbs. And when you go to Amazon, you can select which of the 2 offerings that you have. In the first set, you have basil, oregano, and thyme that comes in one kit. And in kit 2, you have cilantro, parsley, and chives. And then once you get them, you have more than enough seeds. If there's one in particular that your family may not like or that you don't cook with, then you can certainly have 2 of a particular type of herb that you think you may use quite a bit. Welcome. I am Leona Dooley, and this is Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme. You are invited to join our family. You know, our family loves to decorate, to cook, and to chat. And it's all those things that make our home a warm and happy place. The kitchen is the hub, the heart of the home. It is in our kitchens where we love, nurture, encourage, and guide our families over delicious meals or just across the counter. Your kitchen should be the place where everyone wants to come and have a seat and get a hug. So join me weekly in the kitchen of Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme and see what we're up to. I'm going to take the rest of this and just kind of make sure each one is filled. Each one is expanded as far as it can. And you're doing this with pretty warm water. Look at your disc. Okay. Now I have the various seeds. I'm going to give this just a moment to soak up. I'm going to take my fingers and just kind of press the soil to make sure it's all the way down in the bottom of each cup. Now I don't want these so wet that, you know, the seeds drowned, but you do want to keep them moist. So that's in. That one looks pretty good. This one's in. Oh, that did well. And that one's pretty moist. Okay, I'm going to rinse my hands off. Now our instructions say that they are going to absorb the water, which they have. And they're going to fluff and expand. The soil should be damp, but not so wet. So if there's excess water, you just kind of squeeze them out. And then we're going to fill each of the 3 black pots. We've got them up to the line. We press the soil down lightly, and we're going to have a little bit of extra soil for the next step. So we've got enough in here that we can kind of take our fingers. We're going to press a little hole in the center, and that's going to be where we're going to be able to receive the seeds. So I'm starting with, let's see, I've got my chives on this side. You can see the C. That's for my chives. Now, if it's a little too wet, Take it over to the sink. Get the excess water out because you want it moist, but you don't want it drippy. That one had just a little too much water. Okay, so got that there. I'm going to open our chives and get them ready to go. Right. Cilantro seeds. This would be a great idea for your window sills. They're just big enough. Now, cilantro seeds are a little bit larger, which is nice. You really see what you're doing. And you know, Peachtree Farm has been very gracious in giving you way more seeds than what you need. So if time goes by and you feel like you need to pot some more or put them in another little pot, you can certainly do that because you have extras. Okay, so I'm going to clean up and then I'll let you see it a little closer. Peachtree Farm. This is our herbal garden kit. It has 3 herbs, and when you go to Amazon, you can select which of the 2 offerings that you have. In the first set, you have basil, oregano, and thyme that comes in 1 kit. And in kit 2, you have cilantro, parsley, and chives. And then once you get them, you have more than enough seeds. If there's one in particular that your family may not like or that you don't cook with, then you can certainly have 2 of a particular type of herb that you think you may use quite a bit. So I'm very excited to see in the next few weeks, start to see those little shoots come up. I'm going to take some plastic and just lay a little plastic over the top to make a little greenhouse effect for them. And so I can kind of encourage them to do a little more growing. And of course, we want to make sure that we have nice plants that we're able to use right here in our kitchen. And here's our tray. Now it may be that I won't need to necessarily put it on this Lazy Susan, but for now, that's where it's going. So I'm going to place in, we first have our chives. And you know, if your fingers get wet, unfortunately, it's going to affect the writing that you've done. That's okay, you can always rewrite it. That's why they gave you plenty of chalk. And our oregano. So I'm trying to make sure each one is facing in a direction where we can see what it is we're growing. Now, you know, I've even got space that if I wanted to put a little something or even a lamp, I could put a lamp with a grow light right there in the center for these. So when the sun is not shining, they will still receive light. So these are ready, and I think they're going to be very nice. So I'm going to move them over to the cabinet top where they're going to be sitting. I placed my plants in a nice sunny window, and on those days when it's not as sunny as I like this when it happens to be raining, I have a lamp that I will put in place and plug in so it will have plenty of light. And it's somewhat like sunlight, so I'll use that to help in developing these pots. Any plants, as you can see, I have a little fern over there. He got broken off of the main plant. So I'm hoping that we're going to be able to develop enough spores that we can actually end up with one full fern in this pot before the summer's out. So it's always fun to play with flowers right here in your kitchen. I'm very excited to see in the next few weeks, start to see those little shoots come up. I'm going to take some plastic and just lay a little plastic over the top to make a little greenhouse effect for them. And so I can kind of encourage them to do a little more growing. And of course, we want to make sure that we have nice plants that we're able to use right here in our kitchen. Now, you know, I could not let you leave without feeding you because that's what we do in the kitchen. And so, because of that, we're going to prepare together a better than takeout chicken lo mein. So, let's get busy. This better than takeout chicken lo mein has all of the flavors of Asia. It has soy sauce, rice wine vinegar, hoisin sauce, some red chili garlic sauce, and of course, we have to have ginger. Place the exact measurements down in the description box, but I have made a sauce that is going to be so good on this chicken lo mein. You can see that I have chicken, and what I did was to take that chicken and I bought a rotisserie chicken and I actually tore it apart and cut it into smaller pieces. We're also going to have some broccoli and some sugar snap peas and some little corn, pieces of corn, as well as some other vegetables that we'll throw in. Of course, we have to have onion, but we're going to put all of that in. Now, the pasta has already been prepared, and I'm just using spaghetti for this. Now, you could certainly go down to an Asian market and find a particular Asian noodle that you like, that you want for your lo mein. It could be rice noodles, it could be buckwheat noodles, however you like it. But we're just using spaghetti. I'm adding a little bit of oil to the bottom of the pan, and I'm going to add in the broccoli, the carrots, and get those stirred up in that oil. Oh, this is going to be so good. And you can see I'm moving pretty quickly because we're stir frying. I've added in water chestnuts and some baby corn. Now, you know the can said baby corn, but these were a little bigger than what I really expected. So if you like, you can certainly cut those. I didn't. So I'm adding the cooked chicken from the rotisserie chicken. I'm adding that to the center and just continuing to keep the heat high. I've added in just a touch of water just to get the broccoli prepared and get it nice and hot because you know we need to steam those things. So I've added in probably about a half a cup, if not even less than that. You can see how your skillet is moving. So I placed the top on it long enough for it to steam, added in the noodles, spaghetti, and I'm pressing those in and stirring that about. I've added in the sauce and just poured it in, just poured that sauce in. And you know what the good thing is that once all of this is nice and hot, which it is, I'm going to sprinkle it with some peanuts. Now, that's up to you. That is certainly optional. If you have someone who's peanut intolerant, then don't put them in. But we're adding a bit of nuts in. Now, I could have certainly selected something else, but peanuts is very traditional. So our better than takeout chicken lo mein is on the stove and ready for dinner. Before we leave our kitchen today, let me say that again, that I have enjoyed having you right here in our kitchen. But also, please remember each day to light a candle and shine a light, not only for your family, but for those around you. And I'll see you soon, right here in the kitchen of Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme.